Well, hello everyone on the backup channel. You were first, DCM, that's right. And Mal was jealous of my toupee. I lived before, during, and after Mal. My toupee kept me alive. Yes, Mr. Thrive and Survive channel was disrupted once again. We'll talk about that. And it now has 2 strikes. And same thing. Same violation. So we're not going to talk about anything medical anymore. So you just have to live with the tyranny. Mal said no more. So we're not going to talk about that. Not until we can get a alternative, less controlled by tyranny. Then we can do that. Hello, I need the beach. Ice wall, flat earth. Hello, focal shift. Mark Harris. We have a whole 10 people. Whale of beef. Oh, 11. Something's not right because all 100% 11 of you are commenting. Anyway, yeah, the other channel has one more strike to go and the entire channel is gone forever. So what I did was I took down the last video because what it is it's some moronic person who doesn't realize they're actually hurting themselves. They report to YouTube, I listen to what they're saying. And then they give me a strike. And then I appealed it. And within minutes, they said, no, it's a 3-hour, it was a 3-hour stream. It wasn't the last stream, it was from the stream before that. And so they don't even check. But they said, one more strike and it's gone. There's a strike that disappears on November 28th. So after the 28th, we'll go back to there. Hello, Rolos. And End of the World. Rain Songs 9. Hello. Flip Flat. JT. See, it's saying we have 13 people. There's more than 13 people here in the comment section that have commented so far. Oh, well. So that's that. And I think it's made me get a good resolve on a couple things. I'm going to do the old business was the old bodybuilding program I saw was called Muscle Fast. I don't know what the new one's going to be called. I've looked at some names, but I'm going to be doing that. I've already talked to somebody who's going to. There's a couple exercises that I do that's hard to explain, hard to find how to do it right. So I'm going to get somebody to film me doing that. So I'm going to put together that again. So this time it's going to be in video format. Before you had to order the book. And hello, Vintage. Good to see you. And Okabe. Hello. And Anna snuck in there. See, and we're down to 10 people. Eric H. Let's not say we did. Got banned. Rain Songs got banned from Facebook. Isn't this just a lovely country? So I'm going to be doing that because what I need to do is I need to generate some online income, electronic income, because the second resolve is, hello, Mrs. Marks, is I am back onto seriously considering very seriously considering leaving the country. Vintage, you got a 60-day ban on Facebook. That's right, Daniel. I left Facebook actually more than 2 years ago, but good for you, Daniel. DCM, same thing. No more Facebook. Boquita, Panama is my number one choice at the moment, but I'm looking at Portugal as well. I'm tired of this country. I'm tired of the BS. I'm tired of the media. And I'm mostly tired of the lame people that believe it all. That's the worst. Just being around people that are just, I don't know how to put it, stupid. I don't even know. There's no other way to put it. People that are actually for this stuff. See, whoever is reporting my channel, they don't realize that eventually what happens is no matter what you say, it's going to be reported and it's going to be banned or whatever. You're going to end up with a subject that you personally are going to be tyrannized over, and you don't even realize the slippery slope you're on. This is from decades of programming the American people to rat out your fellow American. There you go, Daniel. Fluoride drinkers. The people that still Anna, you're going there too, huh? Your son graduate. When does your son graduate? I have resolved that before the first half of next year is over, I'm going to make my decision on if I stay or not and where I'm going if I decide to. Well, that's still up in the air, because what I would do is I would visit there for a month or so just to see what it's like, and then make a decision on it. But you have to do it, in my mind, fairly soon, because they're going to make it the way it's going. You're not going to be able to get a passport, unless certain circumstances are met. And I'll leave it at that. You people are smart enough to pick up what I'm talking about. What about Portugal? I've actually just recently started looking at Portugal. I like the fact that Portugal is there's good and bad things with everything. They're part of the European Union. That sucks. But the local government itself is very libertarian. And the weather is nice. Now, in Boquita, Panama, you pretty much pick your, and this is true with a few countries, you pick your climates. Costa Rica is the same way. Costa Rica has 99 microclimates. So you decide, how much rain you want, how much sun you want, how much warmth you want, and you pick a spot. In Boquita, you basically pick your altitude. Your altitude determines your altitude, your attitude. But you pick what side of the mountain. If it's one side of the mountain, they're going to get rain there every day. It's just the way it's going to be. You have tropical rains. They come at, I understand it's 3 to 4 o'clock every day. Everybody starts leaving the market and everything around 2:30 and heading home, because they know the rains are coming, and then they come for a couple hours, and then the rains go away, and then you repeat it the next day, and the next day, and the next day. But you pick your altitude for your temperature zone, and go from there. Saipan has summer year round. I'll talk to you about Italy in a second, Vin. I had a bad. The only place in Italy I was Naples, and I called it the armpit of Europe. So I don't have a good picture of Italy. You know what? I liked Spain. I did like Spain, where I was. Saipan, I cannot see myself going to the Orient. I can't see myself going to the Orient anywhere. First of all, I don't like malaria lands, where it's hot, sticky, mosquitoes, and they have, and I don't know how Saipan, I haven't looked at Saipan directly, but a lot of people are like the Philippines. The Philippines like, no. I don't want to go to a place that's going to be jungle. Even though you can live in a big city or whatever, but if there's jungle around it, that tells you the kind of weather they have. I'm not a fan of moisture. And again, Italy, it could be okay. I just didn't like where I was. But that's the way. Hello, D&B. Daniel Warpaint has been to the east coast of Africa near Tunisia. He's buying land there, leaving in a few days. Never thought of Tunisia, but Tunisia is an interesting country too. But I never thought of going there. The cool thing about Spain has thousands of colonists, Britain had millions, but Portugal had Brazilians. Yes, that's true. I liked Rio de Janeiro when I was there. In Greece, yes. I don't want to see. That's the problem with any country that's going to be in the European Union, because it could all go that way. Now, The problem with Panama is they're so connected to the United States, because the Panama Canal there and stuff like that. So you got that to deal with. Now, Costa Rica, they don't even have a military anymore. They get rid of the military. Shows you don't need to have a military, right? So anyway, just some interesting places. But yeah, I won't go anywhere in Asia. I just won't do it. Maybe I've seen too many World War II in the Pacific videos. I just can't do it. Kentucky has no ocean. If I move, it has to be near the ocean. Well, all the places I'm talking about has water. That's for sure. My grandpa was born in Calabria. Where's Calabria? Doesn't even ring a bell. Dad was born in Sicily. See, I haven't been to Sicily. I've been by it. I think I've seen Sicily. I think we got close enough to see it when we drove on by. Yeah, Kentucky is beautiful. It really is. It's a beautiful state. No, it's Italy. Okay. Yeah, see, I'd have to, like I said, the problem, and it was you guys who brought up, but I wasn't even thinking about it. Sooner or later, the whole world will be a sheeple fest. Yes, never mind. But I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's industrialized countries. It's like that the industrialized countries of the world are the most tyrannical right now. But at least I'll be able to afford to live, like if I go to Panama or any of these places I'm mentioning. It won't be long. I won't be able to afford to live here. It's just the way it is. Move to Texas. I'm staying until 2024 to see if we really succeed. I don't think anybody's going to succeed. It's just my personal opinion on it. I mean, there's places in the United States that I've been that are really nice, but it's all under the same. It's all under the same BS. I mean, it's hard. I mean, you have Australia and maybe Belgium and where else? You have a couple of places that are more tyrannical than here, but not many. Not many. And I don't know if any place is more propagandized than here. Belize. Where's Belize? That's come up. Northeastern coast of Central America. Oh, you know what I really would like, but I couldn't afford to live there, would be Barbados. Oh, what a lovely place that was. Yeah, Australia is screwed. It's like the English speaking, or it's not really English speaking. It's the more industrialized the nation is. It seems like they're the most tyrannical. They're the ones experiencing the most inflation, soon to be hyperinflation. If we're going the wrong way with fighting inflation. Florida's way too humid. It's like I love the Alabama beach, the Pensacola, Florida area, that whole area there, Gulf Shores. But it's nice in the fall and things like that when it's not July and all that stuff. I mean, I'd rather be in 110 degree Phoenix than I would in 85 degree or 90 degree Florida or Gulf Shores. Rand Paul's going after the beagle torture, last I heard. Is it for torturing beagles? And I agree. I saw flat Earth. Australia is screwed, and I think the United States is screwed. Beast system. You know what? Speaking of beast system, Mark Harris, $5 for a loaf of bread. California? Where are you, D&B? Go somewhere with poor electricity, 3 television channels, and bad internet. I don't care if there's 0 television channels. I've been off television a long time. Long time. Western English and other rich democratic populations. Legitimate term. Weird. Yes, too weird for me. Yeah, DCM, we've been off bread for a while, haven't we? I just got a triple with cheese from Wendy's today because I didn't feel like cooking. And 0 of the bread went into my mouth. I'm not talking about that vintage, sorry. Can't talk about that stuff. But people can read it in the chat. That's another thing. It's like all these regulatory agencies that are supposedly for us. Oh, and the medical system. It's just every system sucks. Mrs. Marks, you've never been a Rand Paul fan, have you? Well, if he's another actor, Mrs. Mark, that makes 0. So it's not much difference between 1 on our side and 0, is there? Hello, Dank. Sissy May, use it for Roku. Yeah, the only thing I have is I have a Fire Stick. I don't know. It's to me, I never thought I would live in the United States of America and be in the most oppressed, propagandized, tyrannized, loss of First Amendment, loss of Fourth Amendment, loss of Fifth Amendment, and the others being eroded as we speak. And no one seems to care. In fact, people are rooting for it. And you have a media that is so screwed up. It's just I don't know. It's so sickening to live here, and we pay taxes to it. Here's the best way I can express it. In fact, my brother's the one who put it this way to me. He said, Rich, in World War II, which of course I know, people in Germany saw what was getting ready to go down, and they left early. He's got the same feeling. Leave while you can. Alexandros. We are building 6 silos and some mini homes on 64 acres in Wallace, South Carolina. Projects are started. Completion is in 2 years. Good for you. Are they going to be like independently or independent of the system, off the grid, so to speak? Not off the tax grid, though, I'm sure. Exactly what the Bible describes. Like I said, I'm not saying we ain't going to go worldwide, but at least I'll be able to live. Got your comment, never mind, but people will have to read it. So we're not even going to cover that topic. cost of living is in Arizona is moderate. It's about in the middle. Taxes are on the low side for most things, but then they tax you to death with other things, groceries. There's a sales tax. What they've done here is they've done the slippery slope differently. Instead of high property taxes and high, there is an income tax here, but it's not horrendous. It's not the best either. I mean, the best is none. It should be none. But what they've done is they've stolen your money mostly from sales taxes. And same thing, they start the crap with. It's only 5%. And then the local city or whatever, they add 1% or 2% for whatever. And then they come up with all these different projects. It's only a temporary 0.5% or 1% tax. In fact, I got a call about it. And they tried to sell me on this for private fire departments. It's like, no, let the neighborhoods support them. Neighborhoods with private fire departments, fine. Let them support it. Don't let the whole state support their private fire department. I'm not against the fire department at all. I'm just against paying for somebody's fire department in the Grand Canyon area when I'm nowhere near it. But it's only temporary. It would be a 0.5% and 1%, 0.5% or 1% tax that'll go away in 10 years. No, it won't. No, it won't. They don't go away. They just don't go away. So about 10% is your sales tax. Sometimes it's more. That's interesting. You go to buy a car, and I don't know, what are cars today? 30, 40, 50,000? Add 10% to that just for the sales tax. And the plates for your car, oh my Lord. It goes by what the car is worth. So when you have a new car, I mean, for 5, 6, 7 years, you pay out the butt for that car. Okay, $752 is your title this year. And you got to pay, and I love this one, because Charlie isn't neutered. I got to pay more than double everybody else for the license. Charlie's never going to have offspring, and that's all bull crap too. Because they're like, well, if you get them neutered, then we won't have such animal control issues. Well, first of all, you don't have an animal control issue. You have a people issue. But strays and stuff like that's where your problem is. Charlie is always on a leash, or he's at a park with me, if he can be unleashed. And same with the other dogs that aren't spayed or neutered. If you don't plan for them to have puppies, they're not going to have puppies. So why do I have to pay more because of animal control when my dog isn't causing any problems at all? Sticks. Hello, Sticks. Charlie needs to go rogue. Ken has lost me. We should move to Mexico. There's a couple places in Mexico that look pretty good, Elusive Truths. And for about roughly $1,000 a month, you live pretty well. Some of these places that I'm looking at, if you had $2,500 a month, oh my Lord, you're living like a millionaire here. You're living like Nancy Pelosi on Congress salary. Michael Pyle. Hello, Michael. $600 plus registration for 2021 Jeep Wrangler Unlimited Sport. Michael, that would be probably $800 or $900 here, believe it or not. I know California, they get you with everything. They get you every time you pull up to the pump. And that's the thing, Vintage. If people can't see where we are in this country by what happened in 2020 election, they never will. And to me, they don't see it if they think voting next time is the answer. Jim Bauer and the Circus of Destruction. He nails it. I'd have to look at it first. I mean, does it have music in it in the background? And is there any copyright issues? And what subject is he talking about? Because there's just this one subject we're not going to talk about anymore. A medical subject. They about Zillow and their demise in Orlando. Zillow outbid everybody, and now people are not buying their properties. Yeah, that's cool. I like it. What the Zillow did was, see, there's a niche in the real estate market that I almost did it myself. It's the if we buy houses cheap type of deal. You see these little signs or whatever. These are local entrepreneurs that are flipping houses. They're putting money in the house and flipping them. Good for them. But Zillow decided they were going to get on the action and take it away. The big corporation, and they got over their head. Somebody else did it too, and they fell out a year or two ago. So good. Mark Harris, legally job Charlie and then emancipate. Charlie then identifies as a human. Good point. But then, as a human, what will he have to pay? Maybe he can just be a deduction. It's a Facebook post talks about the fake media. Oh, I won't go on Facebook. Sorry, but I appreciate it. Everybody else, you can look that up. See Trump leaving Mar-a-Lago today. Massive motorcade. Just a video you can play if you mute the music. How do I put this? I appreciate that, but I personally don't care what Trump's up to. I don't. DCM and Michael Powell, neither one of you have a wrench on this channel? You have to give me a moment. Oh, and I can't save things. I can't save things to playlists until the strike expires or whatever it is, until the 2 or 3 weeks, whatever it is. Switch account. And my videos. Live, and I click on this, and now I have to click on another link. YouTube Live, and you get to hear me delayed. All right, now let's see what we can do here. Let's see what we can do. Can't do anything there. What the heck? All right, DCM, you're taken care of. As soon as a few more people comment, I can get you, Michael Pyle. Now I can. The pop-up doesn't go all the way down, so you have to wait till it moves up. It like disappears into the abyss. Alrighty. Hello, Hector. Synonan 777. Hello. DCM. Got lost in LA 15 years ago, huh? I thought I left the US. You probably did. You know, what's funny is using StreamYard like I'm using. I see all your comments, but I don't see who's got. Hello, Pirate Pete. I don't see who's got wrenches and who doesn't. It doesn't show me that. Sissy May. You got it, Michael. Hope you're doing well, Michael. So, as usual, we have way less people on this channel than the other. But what can you do? So my sister, she lives vintage. She lives on a sound in North Carolina. She's right on the Atlantic. In fact, if it's not too far up in the stream, I'll show you what she's got to look at outside her back window. This shows it, but it's a lot of tree. There we go. That's where she lives. You walk out her backyard and then down steps or whatever, and this is what she can see. And look, do you see how the earth curves? Like right at the edge of the pier, how it bends down? Maybe it is convex. Or concave, rather. Actually, that's the sun on the water. Makes it look like it's not even there. Where she needs a cook or housekeeper. Yeah, I mean, you're right. One quick Chevy, too. The rising ocean. I told her, don't move there. She said, well, Obama moved on the water. I was like, yeah, you got a good point. There you go, vintage. That's where it's oblate, right there. Oblate spheroid, right there. Arkansas. Chipper 66. Do you know of a famous baseball player from Arkansas? Played third base. Probably the best third baseman ever. Defensively. Now, I don't know what's happening with you guys with gasoline, but I'm going to show you a chart. This is called RBOB gasoline. These are December futures. This is a 1 month chart. Okay. 1 month chart. See where my thumb is on the one side? That's the older data. So it has fallen 28 cents, roughly. Yeah, about 28 cents in the last month. In the last week, it's fallen 10 cents. And today went down slightly. But gas prices are still rising here. Isn't it funny? If it's rising, right away the gasoline stations, they raise the price. If you watch the futures, you'll notice this. But when it falls, there's this long gap before they actually do it. 315 North Carolina. We're close to $4 now. 389, 391, 390 here in Arizona. You live in a state of emergency. So it was the whole country. That's what gave everybody authority, all these governors authority to do what they did to us in the last couple of years. You're limited to 30 liters in Vancouver per visit. Why? Are they saying it's a shortage? So divided by 6 gallons. That's pretty bad. You got it, Sticks. We all live in a state of terror from the government. And again, there's no, I don't hear the footprints. Do you? Do you hear the hoofs coming from the cavalry? I don't. So Trump can leave Mar-a-Lago with 100,000 people following him. I don't care. The strike was for going against CDC and World Health Organization guidelines, just like the other two strikes, or other strikes. There was two. One other one dropped off. Gas is $6 in Quebec. They're just stealing it back. See, they gave it to you in the United States anyway. They gave it to you with the relief packages. Remember that? The stimulus. Now they're taking it back. I'm surprised California isn't even worse. DCM, $6. 37 flat Sabbath. You mean 370? Michael Pyle, 5 dead, 48 injured. 48 minus 5 equals 43. 4 minus 3 equals 1. There's our 33. RV now has proof the vehicle collision was a Masonic hoax. RV now has proof. Oh. Yeah, that was a hoax, all right. See, that kind of thinking I don't even get. I just don't get it. So several different people videotaped that, and it was all a hoax. RV is Russian Vids, who is very much a conspiracy. You think, I mean, I'm anti-conspiracy compared to him, but he's more into the that type of thing. Everything's Masonic. Everything is 666. This just was disqualified me right now from doing this. That's it. It's over. Yeah, Flat Sabbath, you're right. And I explained that in my appeal, and minutes later they came back. No, you violated. They don't check. They don't check. So we don't talk about it anymore. Arbiters of truth. Your truth comes from social media, the mainstream media, and your government. And God help you if you go against it. Pirate Pete. Hello, T. That's right, Anna. All we did was love on them. Icewall, I followed it fairly closely. I zoned out every time they started showing videos that just went on and on with people yelling, and I don't know. How many times do you have to watch destruction before you're like, all right, I get it? And how many different angles do they have to show the same thing? I mean, if you can't see, I don't know. If you can't see that it was self-defense, then your eyes are closed on purpose. That's right, Vintages. Whatever they say, we have no voice. Mark Dice had a very good little video today. It was short. And in the first minute, he covered all you need to know. He talked about when Trump covered was asked by the media about Rittenhouse. And he said, it looks to me like he was running. They chased him. He fell. And then when they went to attack him, he gave the exact description perfectly, what exactly happened and what the jury found happened. But then you go to the fact checkers, which means the control mechanism of the propaganda wing of the country, came out and said what Trump said was false. That's right, end of the world. Beginning to feel like a lot like China everywhere you go. Every communism to all some more tyranny. And here's the thing too with these other countries that I'm looking at, they're not spending money to spy on you. They're just not. I don't think they care what you do, as long as you don't care what they do. It's like a mutual. I mean, I know how like Ecuador works, because I worked with a guy. He was a partner of mine in the computer business I had, and he says it's all you get anything you want from the government because it's extremely inefficient. You can't get permits. You can't get this done. You can't get that done. And but his father is a businessman there, and he said, "No, you're doing it the wrong way. You don't fill out forms and send it into the government and wait. You fill out forms, hand it to somebody who will take a bribe, and it's stamped right there. You're approved." That's how it works. At least they're up front with it. I mean, at least at least everybody plays the same game there. Check out the United Nations' new 2-minute commercial on their YouTube channel. It's titled, "Don't Choose Extinction." The United Nations has a YouTube channel? Are you kidding me? Oh, they have a United Nations Live. Okay. Going to their channel, videos. I don't see it. Oh, they're talking about misinformation, though. Hold on a second. Don't choose extension. Let me search for that. Right up, so it must be propaganda. I mean, in my face. Oh my goodness. All right, we're going to play this. It's so, I can tell you right off the bat, it's so scientific. So scientifically perfect. Wait till you see it. All right, I'm going to mute myself, guys. Here we go. We're going to play it. It's only 2 minutes and something. Let's look at the scientific facts that we get in this. Just a moment. Here we
You okay? You need a minute? Cool. Okay. Listen up, people. I know a thing or two about extinction. And let me tell you, and you'd kind of think this would be obvious, going extinct is a bad thing. And driving yourselves extinct in 70 million years, that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. At least we had an asteroid. What's your excuse? You're headed for a climate disaster, and yet every year governments spend hundreds of billions of public funds on fossil fuel subsidies. Imagine if we had spent hundreds of billions per year subsidizing giant meteors. That's what you're doing right now. Think of all the other things you could do with that money. Around the world, people are living in poverty. Don't you think helping them would make more sense than, I don't know, paying for the demise of your entire species? Let me be real for a second. You've got a huge opportunity right now. As you rebuild your economies and bounce back from this pandemic, this is humanity's big chance. So here's my wild idea. Don't choose extinction. Save your species before it's too late. It's time for you humans to stop making excuses and start making changes. Thank you.
And we end with the two globes on the screen. Wow. How come the dancer has no collar? How come he's got, first, yeah, it's right. He doesn't have a license, and he doesn't have a mask on either. Oh, my God. You got that right, Quebec Flat. So painful to watch a load of bullcrap. Is right. How about moving to that Mexican city and throw out the government? That's an idea, Mark. I never even thought about that. I'll look up. I don't know where they are, but I'll find out. Let's find out where they are. Oh, and you have medical freedom, even in Mexico, that you don't have. You can anything you want, you go in and get it. Imagine that. You can do that here too once the patent runs out. But before that, you got to go pay a doctor and then pay whatever your copay is. If you don't have insurance, you have to pay the whole thing. We got the name of the city. TYRRANY. Let's find out where this place is. News I can trust. Get out. Let's see. Oh, it's on the. It actually looks like it's in a decent spot. It looks like it might be up high in the mountains, though. It's in the southwest corner of Mexico. I would say it's, I don't know the scale of this, but it's maybe 300 to 400 miles north of where Panama is. But it's the country it's in, or the, I don't know what, I guess their county or whatever. It's right on the coast, but goes inland quite a bit, almost to the central part. Instead of describing it, I'll just show you. There it is. See the red dot? Red square? That's where it is. BBC News. In Mexico, organized crime reaches everywhere, even into the smallest village, except for one small town in the state of, it's the state, Michoacán, I guess. Michoacán. Led by local women, the people of Sharan rose up to defend their forest from armed loggers and kicked out police and politicians at the same time. Oh my God, that sounds so refreshing. The women met in secret to make their plans. They were sickened by the killings and kidnappings that had become routine and angered by the masked men who roamed their town. Everybody's a masked man now, demanding extortion payments from small businesses. And for more than 3 years, they had watched indignant as truck after truck trundled past their homes, piled high with freshly cut logs. Mexico's cartels once focused mainly on the drug trade, but now they have diversified their business model and now seek to dominate any lucrative industry, including timber, the foundation of Sharan's economy. By 2011, the loggers were getting close to one of Sharan's water springs. We were worried, members Margarita Elvira Romero, one of the conspirators. Oh, she's a conspirator. If you cut the trees, there's less water. Our husbands have cattle. Maybe we need to grow trees in the ocean to be less water, so when it melts, right, it won't come up on the shore. Makes as much sense as their crap. Blah, blah, blah. Let's see. A group of women went into the forest to try to reason with the armed men. They were verbally abused and chased away. So their plan evolved. Now they knew it was too dangerous to confront the loggers in the forest at the spring. They determined to stop the trucks in town where they would have support of their neighbors. Early on Friday, 15 April 2011, Sharan's Levantamiento, or uprising, began. On the road coming down from the forest outside Margarita's home, the woman blockaded the loggers' pickups and took some of them hostage. As the church bells of El Calvario rang out and fireworks exploded in the dawn sky. So they had their own, and the rockets' red glare and the bombs bursting in there gave proof to the night that their loggers were no longer there. In the dawn sky, alerting the community to danger, the people of Sharan came running to help. See, these people here are too scared in this country, or too brainwashed. In fact, they'd help the cartel, because that's what the media would say. The cartel is the good people. It was tense. Hotheads had to be persuaded by the women not to string up hostages from an ancient tree outside the church. The police and local politicians were quickly driven out of town because the people suspected they were collaborating, you bet they were, with the criminal networks. Political parties were banned. Amen, 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 and still are, because they are deemed to have caused divisions between people. Boy, these people got it down. I love it. I love it. Look at this. The people. More than what the people are doing here. Serious law breaking is referred to the Attorney General, but in the last year there have been no murders, kidnaps, or disappearances. See what happens when you get rid of government? Things get better. And the forest is coming back. It's been replanted. There you have it. It might be a good place to move. So they might think I'm a logger from the United States. Oh, really? Some people from YouTube went there, huh? Before the experience. Charlie's laying next to me, but if I go to reach him, he'll run. You got that right. Jesus coming to straighten out the mess. I hope it is soon. I hope it's soon, but I got a plan that it isn't. So what's been happening with everybody else? Yes, Charlie has been on camera briefly, a couple times. Now he's wised up. And just like the last stream, remember I told you, I said he's under the bed and he knows not to come out. I tried to get him a couple of times last stream. He knows not to come out until, and when I shut this laptop down, right there, he's back. He's right with me. He's unbelievable. They're anarchist pagans. I don't care if they're pagans. That's cool. At least we don't have religion to have to worry about. I don't know what's worse. I mean, pagans all believe the same thing, so at least you don't have divisions. Oh, thank you, Michael B. I just got this shirt in the mail today, so I was like, let me see how it works and whatever. So I got another one by this company. I wore it in the stream I took down. It was green, but it was a little too big, so I'm going to turn that one back in for this size. Well, so just like Charlie's Angels, a rare appearance. He also, remember, I did I think I was telling you I couldn't do a stream one night, and I was walking him, and he was on that night too. His camera shot. See, I have to pick him up. That's what he doesn't like. He doesn't like that. Anyway, the Michael B, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I'm not sure I'm into blue. That's what I'm trying to debate. I know green works well with me, but blue, I'm not sure. At least I think green. People have told me green's your color. Danny, a fresh ISS video 3 minutes just came out today. News say you can see the harness under her shirt and wires pulling her shirt. It's tilted. Unbelievable. No, it doesn't matter. You can show the whole thing. You can actually show it from the other side. Daniel, thank you so much. Wow. God bless you. Thank you, Daniel. I'm waiting for, God, thank you. No, you blessed me greatly there. Thank you so much, Daniel. Since PayPal will no longer let me write back and see what you've written to me, I've got, I finally have Jughead's Colloidal Silver ready to go, and I can't see his address anymore. I just don't get these people. There's something next week. Sesame Blue's going on. Oh, thank you. Okay, good to know. There's something next week I'm going to talk to you about. One of my sons, Zachary, my youngest, he is a financial genius. And I don't mean like stock markets or whatever. If there's a way to either make money or save money, he knows it. He just doesn't miss a trick. And I've maybe talked about this a little bit, but he's the person, he bought a $5,000 laptop. His major was computer science, so he needs something to be able to communicate with people fast and things like that. In any case, here in Arizona, that means he would have to pay $500 in taxes on. So what he did, he found a place in Washington State, I think, where there's no sales tax, and there's a company there, and this is cool. I love this. There's a company there where you can ship your laptop to, and they will forward it to you. So he sold it with the Portland or wherever Oregon address. It's all legal, and so there was no sales taxes. And then for like $20, it's forwarded to you. It's cool as hell. But he came up with something. Has anybody heard of NFTs, non-fungible tokens? Has anybody heard of those? Anybody know what they are? I'm not even sure I know what they are. They're not real. ice wall. I don't know if there's any good new flat Earth videos out there because you get nothing in your feed. But we have we have another. Pugsley Lovejoy sent me a nice time lapse. I'm going to show that probably next stream, where you see the exact same thing with the shadow. It jumps forward, it jumps back. It does this. It's almost like the shadow has Parkinson's. The Earth is just dancing in space if it's the Earth's shadow. And it really showed up in this eclipse well. So I'm going to show that. Some reefer knows what they are. Okay. Non-fungible tokens. They're not real. They're electronic things. So one day he calls me up. He's only 25. So there's certain things in life he doesn't know yet. So he calls me up and says, Dad, what would happen if I borrowed $30,000 on credit cards, no less? What would happen if I borrowed $30,000 and couldn't pay it back? Because he didn't know if this thing he wanted to do with these with these NFTs, non-fungible tokens. I'm just going to call them NFTs from now on, and I'll explain a little bit better. I'll try to, but they are. He said he wanted to get into this NFT business, and he said, "What happens if I can't pay it back?" I said, "Well, you probably have to declare bankruptcy, and that wipes out the debt, and then you start over, and that drops off in 7 years off your credit, or 10. It drops off in 10 actually. It stays on the credit report for 10, but after nowadays, after 2 or 3 years, you can be just about back where you were as far as what you qualify for and things like that." So anyway, he did it, and he popped 30,000 on credit cards, and he got credit cards. He's like, "Dad, what you need to do is you need to get." I don't qualify for it because I just don't have the money. But he says you need to get like these credit cards that will give you cash back once you spend so much money. He said, like, I got one. Once you spend $2,000, no, once you spend so much money, I don't know what it is, but you can get up to $2,000 cash back from them. And a lot of them are $500, some are $250, whatever. He said, get that. He said, like, why would I do that? Because the interest is going to be higher, whatever. He goes, no, what you do is you get gift cards to yourself. It was like, dang. It's like it just naturally comes to him how to do these things. And so he gets a gift card, pays it back, cashes in the gift card, pays it back, and then he gets a $500 bonus. Anyway, yes, it's like art essentially, but it's digital art. It's not real art. And I really want to show you what he's come up with. But what he did was he found a way. There was these, I'm not even going to say exactly what it was. I'll use a parallel to it. Chickens. They do have NFT chickens. And you can buy these chickens, this electronic art. And people bid on it, like they bid on eBay stuff or whatever. And some of the really beautiful chickens, or let's just say the chickens can fight. So you have these chicken fights, and you have a chicken that really has a lot of power and different stuff like that. That chicken could sell for a lot of money. I don't mean a lot of money. It could sell for thousands of dollars, where some of the cheap ones might sell for $20. But they get bid or whatever, and once the market is established, you know, all right, this chicken with this kind of attributes should sell for $100. But somehow he finds them to where there's somebody selling them desperate. They're getting rid of it for $30. So he buys it for 30 and resells it, puts it back up and sells it for 100. Interesting, I guess. Stupid, I think, but whatever. So a few months go by, and I'm like, how's your NFT going? He said, well, I'm getting ready to pay back all my credit cards. I said, so you've made $30,000 so far? He's like, no, I've made $140,000. It's just unbelievable. Now he's come up with something, and I can't say what it is until he comes out with it, where if it works, and I think it will, I think it's actually going to blow away his wildest expectations. But his limited expectations in this first run of these things that he's coming out with, he's expecting to clear himself. He's in it with some other guy who's helping him. But he's expecting to clear himself $1.25 million off of this. And he's probably got 30 or 40 grand into it. NFT chickens are rotisserie chickens. Choices. The people have too much money when they can spend $5,000 on a virtual chicken. I'm sorry. See, this is when people were, same thing was happening in 2007, 2008. Not only were people spending way too much money on real estate, but people were spending money on everything and paying unbelievable prices for it. I can't even remember all the examples, but it was blowing my mind. It was like, why is somebody, it wasn't the pet rock, but it was like, why are people buying something like a pet rock and paying for $450 for it? Back then it was was it still those stupid, I don't know if they're stupid, that people were, at least it was something tangible. The dolls that people would buy, the Cabbage Patch dolls, it was stuff like that that people were just unbelievably just splurging money out for. Everybody was going out and going to the highest end. You couldn't even get into a high-end restaurant unless you had a reservation 3 weeks in advance. But it's been that way. It's that way again. Not so much with restaurants and things like that, but it's with all this digital stuff that people are buying. I mean, phones are thousands of dollars. Come on. And people are paying it. Synthetic chicken meat. But I can't wait to show you what he's come up with. I don't think at this point anybody could beat him to it, because it did take a lot of effort, and because he is a computer major, he knows a lot of other people that can supply him with what he needs. The artwork, the digital art, for example, things like that. How to put the whole thing together. I can't go into more detail because I'd start giving it away. But wait till I tell you about it. And here I'm just trying to get something like Muscle Fast up and try to sell it. Anabolic chicken. There you go. Oh, I hate the sweat stuff. This is the only place I sweat is right here. It's because I don't have the fan on me. And I don't even have the air conditioning on today. That's the first time. What is it? November 22nd. Now, it'll be on tonight because I like it cold when I sleep. I get to go through the tyranny. Just let you know what's going on with me. I've had unbelievable pain at night. Even worse than the last time I described. And I can't wait to get an injection on my right shoulder. So I go Wednesday to the doctor for that. But it's this area right here. I had a massage on it, and it did calm it down for about a day or two. He called it the ISM or ICM, or wasn't the ISS. This was real. But it's where he said where everything goes and connects down to the collarbone, down in here. In fact, I'm always worried about I'm going to squeeze my carotid artery too hard and close it off. That's where it hurts, all up in here. And then I get a temporal headache from it. But it's been unbelievably bad for about a week. And I, usually about 2 or 3 in the morning, I will take ibuprofen, 800 milligrams of it. I take 4 of the 200s because that's what it takes to do something. They can't get opioid. We've been through this. Can't get opioid medication. They give me these stupid little muscle relaxers that if I took the whole bottle, I'd probably sleep better, but I'd only have one night before I'd run out, right? So, anyway, and they give you these things to give you. Remember when you guys anybody that's been here a long time, I had this this going on one time. In fact, I couldn't even hardly do the mouse and click stuff. That was from gabapentin that they were giving me for pain. That's what it was. I actually went to the doctor, said, hey, I think I might be getting Parkinson's. And they're like, what drugs are you taking? And I said, when I say gabapentin, they're like, oh, that's what's causing it, most likely. So he said, quit it and see what happens. I was glad to quit it anyway because it didn't do anything for pain. The pain is from my mouse. So I go Wednesday. They're going to tell me what's wrong with the shoulder, or at least they'll know where to inject this time. And I'm due for the left shoulder injection. So I want to do them the same time so they don't get two co-pays on me. And so just so I don't have to go twice anyway. But if they don't give me pain medicine this time, I'm just going to flat out say it. I mean, it'll be once I get the injections, the last time I go to that doctor. I did get the name of a doctor that supposedly will write you a script if you're in pain. God, what is wrong with this uptight piece of crap country? But I'm literally in bed almost 12 hours a night just so I can get 6 hours of sleep. That's how much I'm up. Bonnie, 18 degrees. Ooh, 23 in Illinois. Man. Hey, did any of those protests after the Rittenhouse trial, did any of them become violent? I don't think any of them did. Danny. We can't talk about that subject. Why is there plenty of fentanyl on the street but no pain med at VA? Exactly, Sticks. Exactly. Oh, I gave up on the VA. The VA is the one that gave me gabapentin. They gave me gabapentin and like 4 other ones in the last year. They all sucked. Ibuprofen beats them all. But actual opioids beat. Well, the thing is, if you guys know, I've had 2 heart attacks. And the second heart attack, when I finally got a good doctor, I got one of the best heart specialists in Phoenix. He just happened to be on duty when I had my heart attack. So he became my doctor. But then my insurance dropped him because they only want to pay for crappy doctors. But I can get him back, I think, after January 1st. In any case, he said, you probably gave yourself the second heart attack by taking ibuprofen. I was like, what are you talking about? He said, NSAIDs, non-steroid anti-inflammatories, they thicken the blood. The only exception is aspirin. And, of course, I'm not going to take 30 aspirin because then I'll probably have a stroke. But I just can't stand it. I get to, 2 to 4 in the morning. It's usually around 3 o'clock. I just have to take it. 27. 0 in Toronto. And Toronto, you get tons of snow there, don't you? There's a couple of people I followed that had YouTube channels in Toronto. And it's like, you see it's always snowing, it seems like, in the background. Maybe you just had snow a year or 2. There you go, Vintage, or get a bleeding ulcer. It's bad enough that the opioids, they have to put Tylenol in it. You got to get got to keep them happy. How many people remember or are old enough to remember Tylenol is the reason that you have all the crap today, that it's all sealed up. I mean, I guess it's good it's sealed up, but everything's sealed up and you can't get into half the crap. I mean, you'll buy stuff. You know how it is. You'll buy stuff. This is just a supplement, but just to explain, you'll have the plastic on here, and I hate when they don't have the perforation, when you have to almost bite it to get it to peel off. You have to use scissors, and then it breaks right here. In fact, this one's like that. It's still got the plastic here because you can't get to it. Anyway, you finally get that off, and you're like, oh yeah. And then you open it up, and there's some kind of weird seal here. And some of them are better than others. Some I have to take scissors and just bam, and then pull it off because it's so glued on. Then you got the cotton underneath that, and then you have these gel things that they put in there. They're chemicaling us to death, to take the moisture out. And I always joke because I say here in Arizona, when you pull those things, I throw them away. The what do they call those packs? Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. They take the humidity out. It's so dry in Arizona that Arizona takes humidity out of those packs. I'm serious. In fact, let's see. It's evening. So what is the relative humidity? It's going to be high because it's evening. It is high. 23%. And look at this. Notice this? Do you see the phone flash? These things are always taking pictures. Or they're sending out some kind of signal. Come on, do it again. That won't do it. So it makes me, but you've seen it. When I've held the phone up before, it'll flash. 23%. It'll get down to like 3% here. Literally, 3% humidity. And you wonder why dust is all of a sudden, this time of year, I mean, I have to dust all the time because your skin is shedding because it's so dry. But much better than malaria-infested Filipino mosquitoes. Well, they give ex-military all those ridiculous safeguards. Isn't it crazy? And then you have this with the ibuprofen. You have to line up. It's in the middle of the night. I don't have to turn the light on. You have to line up the freaking thing to click it off, and it's so tight that half the time, by the time I get it off, it pops, and then I just have to search for wherever it flew in the morning to put it back on. But that all came because of Tylenol. Anybody remember that? No, Vintage, it isn't always dry. In fact, if you remember, I had flooding here. We have a wet season. It's the summer. They call it monsoon, but it's not really monsoon. It's not like monsoon in Africa or the Philippines or whatever. It's we get these huge dust storms that once the dust blows through, then you get the rain and the thunderstorm and all that stuff. A lot of lightning. But tons of rain in very little periods of time, small periods of time. We only get about 10 to 12 inches of rain a year here, and 90% of it will fall from July 1st to August 31st. That's the monsoon season. It bleeds into September a little bit. And then in January, there's about a 2-week period where we get lighter rains. It seems like every year. Not 2 weeks straight, but there's a 2-week period where about 3 or 4 days out of that, maybe 5, it rains. But other than that, yeah, it's dry. Yes, the talking thing, she said our humidity is 63%. And she said, I can't tell you unless you get something in you. The Tylenol thing was BS too. $10 says they changed made regulations because of it. And someone made money. Yeah, Danny. What it was is, in case you didn't know, somebody was going around putting poison in Tylenol bottles. Now, before, the way it was, anything on the shelf was like this is right now. You opened it up, and you poured it out. It was that simple. No parental control, line up the tabs or whatever, or push down and turn. But somebody was putting, supposedly, poison into Tylenol, because all of a sudden, a few days later, you hear the news would come on. Another person has died of Tylenol or poisoning from Tylenol, whatever. It wasn't the Tylenol, although Tylenol's a poison, in my humble opinion. Hopefully that doesn't go against any guidelines. But it's very liver toxic. That's a fact. And it doesn't. The pain management doctors will tell you, and in fact, it's actually not the pain management doctors. All the other doctors will tell you, Tylenol does very little, if anything, for pain. Tylenol is most effective for fever, and most times you want the fever there. That's right, Pirate Pete. Tylenol is poisoning. So, ever since then, cotton in it. Ever since then, everything got hermetically sealed, so to speak. In the world, we get extreme humidity during the summer. Sometimes it starts in late April. Then the media goes off on climate change and fear-mongering. Where you live, again, end of the world? Yes, every time. You know, the only time they dropped Now they're learning. They've learned, even during blizzards, whatever. It's because of the climate change. That's why they changed it from global warming to climate change. So any kind of severe weather can be blamed on it. Tylenol destroys your organs. And here we go again with because there's bad people, so to speak, who abuse things. You who don't do that have to pay the price. So what they'll say is, because it's available, you can get Vicodin, so to speak. Vicodin is the narcotic hydrocodone with acetaminophen. Now, they used to almost constantly give you 625 milligrams of the Tylenol, 10/325, 5/3, or 10/625, 5/625. So no matter what, you were getting 625, and you're supposed to take 3 or 4 of these a day. It was killing people's livers. So then better get it right. Then the FDA, I believe, I can read you the notice. Oh, here's the other thing too. Remember I was telling you about how everybody had to jump through hoops now if you get pain medicine. They came up with their own regulations at the pharmacy. So even if your doctor or insurance company has approved it and you're supposed to get it now, the pharmacy can say, no, we're not going to give it to you until tomorrow because it's only been 30 days. We want 31 days. The other thing is, all of a sudden when they came out with this opioid crisis, it gave the insurance companies an excuse not to cover it anymore. A lot of insurance companies will not cover opioid pain medication. Yep, FDA. FDA update. This drug is a controlled substance. Note that some pharmacies may not honor coupons for controlled substances or insurance. FDA update. The FDA has asked manufacturers to limit prescription acetaminophen products to 325 milligrams per dose. But they make it with 0. You can get 5/0, 10/0. But the reason why you can't get it is because, that's what drug people do because it's not contaminated with the acetaminophen. Now it's pure and they can do other stuff with it. And it's like, I don't give a crap what they do with it. My liver has to pay the price because somebody out there is making bad drugs with it or whatever they do. I don't even know what they do with it. Anyway. Took 3 Tylenol every 3 hours for weeks for an abscessed wisdom tooth. It worked for a while. Well, I'm glad it worked for you, Vintage. But anyway, the other doctors will tell you that, it doesn't do much for pain. I'm glad it worked for you. Everybody's different. I mean, I think I could take, if my liver could stand it, I'd take a whole bottle of acetaminophen, and I don't think it would drop my pain at all. That's just what I think. There's a different, yes, ibuprofen. Yes, it's called Vicoprofen. Vicoprofen. The problem with that is, and I did switch to Vicoprofen. I got my doctor to switch me to it. This is before the opioid crisis when you could actually do that. It's called Vicoprofen, and it's Vicodin and ibuprofen. But that comes back to the same thing. The ibuprofen is going to thicken my blood, which they don't want once you have heart stents. So that one's out for me. I agree 100% with you, Danny, but I'm not putting it up. Flat like it. See if I can get this. Flat like itty bitty committee. You're right, wouldn't do a thing for me either. Yeah, each person is different, but it definitely doesn't do anything for me. Hydrocortisone makes me hyper. Hydrocortisone. Isn't that what they shoot in my shoulders? I don't even know what to put. It's it's a corticosteroid. Oh, Joe Mama, I missed that. Where you know it was called ibuprofen. I'm sorry. Yeah, I did switch to that for a while, and my liver was happy. In fact, several times, not many, but a few times when I was taking the regular Vicodin, I had elevated liver values. Not bad, but at first, then they'd switch me to ibuprofen for a month or two, and then switch me back. And then after a while, the doctor said, "Why don't we just keep you on ibuprofen?" That's before I had a heart attack. So can't take ibuprofen, throw up after 5 minutes. Oh, that sucks. It's not good for your stomach. That's another thing I worry about too. My grandmother used to take it every day for pain because they wouldn't give her anything either, and she ended up getting a bleeding ulcer from it. There you go, vintage. Destroyed your daughter's stomach and gallbladder. Yeah, I'm a meteorologist, not a doctor, so don't take anything from me. Always speak to your doctor. Everyone should try microdosing psilocybin mushrooms. We've talked about. I've had several trips to Mushroomville, and a couple accidental microdosing. Because I stored them where I stored something else and accidentally grabbed them wrong twice. And only took one, but both times I was going to the gym, and I thought it was, what did I think it was? Arginine, I don't know what it was, something for pre-workout. And I grabbed the wrong one. They look the same, the capsules look the same. I grabbed the wrong one twice. And I didn't know until I got to the gym when I started seeing, the first time I saw purple. Everything had a purple hue to it. I'm like, what is going on here? And it wasn't enough so I knew what I took. Because it was a microdose. It was only one capsule. And maybe 50 milligrams. Maybe 75. I don't know. It wasn't much. But it happened twice. Yeah, people have told me about DMSO, but DMSO scares me. But inflammate, my body likes to make inflammation. The one thing I did get from the pain management system, yep, you're right, somebody from most comes from, I know mine does. The best thing I got from the VA, besides the drugs, which was the worst thing, they gave a class on identifying what makes you inflamed, specifically inflammatory foods. And most of the anti-inflammatory foods I'm not going to eat anyway because I just don't eat that. But it really taught me. I know the worst culprit I can eat is meats that have nitrates in them. That's oh man. And sometimes I enjoy my drug rants. Is that controlled substance drugs or mushrooms or doctors' drugs? Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh, the inflammation. Oh, yeah, I got instead of a triple with cheese, I wanted extra protein. I got the Baconator at Wendy's, and I wasn't even thinking about the potassium. I mean, the nitrates in the bacon. And oh my goodness, that was the worst night I had in a long time. I mean, I've had bad nights lately, but that was so bad I was close to crying. I was like, what is different? Nothing's different. Finally, I remembered, oh, I ate bacon. Yeah, spicy foods. I can't wait till Sunday because my son, the guy who's the flat. Yeah, I'm a meteorologist. I'll I'll give you the story here in a second. Yeah, so he found the one that's going to be a millionaire soon. He said he found the best wing place in Arizona. Arizona food isn't good, by the way, unless you're a guest into Mexican. I'm not. Mexican food is. I hear that the local Mexican food is really good, but it's just not my. I'm more into Italian food. Maybe I should go to Italy. But you want good food? Go to Maryland. Can't wait to get back there to get some decent food. That's right, Stanley Baconator. Good to see you, Stanley. Yes, I was a weatherman since I could talk. Really, not a weatherman, but I was into weather. And real briefly, the whole story is my mother said the first questions were about clouds and why do they stay up there and different things. And soon she couldn't answer the questions, so she was a very good mom. She went out and got books on it and would read me books about weather. And then when I could read myself, I would read books about weather. By the time I was a teenager, I was into air fluid dynamics and the physics of it, and I was really into it. Then I went into the Navy, and I was on an aircraft carrier, and I was a weatherman on the aircraft carrier, and ended up being a section leader. So I did everything in the office and loved every moment of it. I just hated the Navy. I hated being out to sea, so I left. Yeah, I've always been into weather, always. Grass-fed, grass-finished meats with added crap, and it tears me up bad. Yeah, vintage. I found, believe it or not, for $3 for a pack, believe it or not, at my grocery store. Grass-fed, all natural, no nitrates, hot dogs. And I always keep a couple packs at the house. Can't wait for eat except turkey. Can't wait to eat turkey this weekend. The best thing, thank you, Stanley. The best thing I have found, I can't reach it, for sleep has been, and I can't take it every night because I acclimate to everything, is the L-tryptophan, which is in turkey. It's only because Thanksgiving is coming up, and I thought about that. My daughter's birthday is on Thanksgiving this year. And so I was thinking about a birthday. I was like, oh, it's Thanksgiving. And then I was like, oh, I'll sleep good that night because of the tryptophan in turkey. And I was like, why don't I just get tryptophan? So I did, and it does. It gets me to sleep. It's the pain later that wakes me back up. Applegate lunch meats. Yeah, I know where I can get Applegate, in fact, vintage. They're free of crap too, turkey, chicken, and ham. Thank you. Yes, because I got the other thing I like is I really love roast beef sandwiches and things like that. Good for you, somebody, for you support your local farms. We're the only YouTube live stream that moves seamlessly from Bible study to drugs to flat out to political intrigue to CV conspiracy theories to meteorology. How would you? That's a good. I should copy that description down and put it in the top of the channel. What is your channel about? Just read this right here. What Styx wrote. And lately, anarchy. We cover all the drugs, the good ones and the bad ones. Good YouTube chemtrail video for you to check out. 3 years old, titled "Viruses Are Falling from the Sky in Their Billions." Interesting. The thing with that is, how do we know? I mean, there's different theories on it. Viruses is one. Heavy metals is another. I've heard some other theories too. The one thing I want to say about chemtrails is this, too. I want you guys to try to notice this. The high clouds, high wispy, see-through, you still see blue, unless it's really thick, through these clouds. Those are the cirrus clouds, the highest clouds. Notice when you start getting that, usually in most parts of the country, not here in Arizona, but most parts of the country, when a front is coming, or when actually the jet stream is getting close to you, you'll get cirrus clouds, those high wispy thin clouds. And then usually that's a precursor to lowering and thickening clouds and rain coming in the next day or two. It doesn't work that way in Arizona. It's different, but notice when you have a clear blue sky, nothing, how little chemtrails you have. But when you have cirrus clouds in the sky, you apparently are getting chemtrailed to death. And the difference is, and I'm not saying chemtrails aren't real, because they definitely are. I mean, to me, there's no doubt about it. But a lot of what people are looking at are contrails. It's very, very hard to tell the difference. When you have cirrus clouds, it means there is condensation happening where the jets fly at that altitude. That's where those clouds are. And so when these jets go through there, the moisture coming out is going to condense. And it's going to look like chemtrailing. The difference is hard to tell, but there are two telltale signs. One, if the if the humidity isn't that high up there, it's high, but just you get some trailing. What happens is you'll go a certain distance back from the tail of the aircraft, and you'll notice that the trail that it's leaving is disappearing, and it's slowly disappearing and following the plane, the disappearing part. That's definitely that's condensation. The other one is this massive spreading. That is chemtrailing. No matter what. Contrails don't massively spread. But you'll notice a lot of what people are calling chemtrails are not chemtrails. And they'll say, see, look, we're being chemtrailed. And there's a lot of cirrus. And then notice the cirrus goes away, and so does the chemtrailing. They're not waiting for cirrus clouds to come to chemtrail you. But just something to point out. It's hard. It is hard. I mean, I've trained my eyes to look at the sky since I was 5, 6, 7 years old, somewhere in there. And it's hard for me to tell the difference. I can tell you that when I was growing up, none of them spread out and got, really wide and stayed there forever. None of them. See, that's it. End of the world. It always rains after we get a good chemtrail dumping. Chances are it's not chemtrails, or a lot of it isn't. You think it is because the condensation, because the conditions are right in the atmosphere for the jet exhaust to condense. And that's when a front is coming. See if I can show you something. I don't see any good ones, but I think this one can do if I can make it large enough. Yeah, let me show you something. This is a visual satellite image. Hold on. Wrong one. There we go. That's the one I want you to see. All right, now I know this is. Oh, they make it larger. Cool. All right, this front has already come through the U.S., but imagine it's in the middle of the U.S. You get the Cirrus Clouds. I don't know if you can see my cursor out here in the Atlantic. You get Cirrus Clouds to be in advance of this, and then the clouds lower and thicken, and you get rain. This is a cold front right here. You have the same issue here. What you have here is the jet streams cutting down in here, and let me see if I can follow it. It's dropping back down again. Got a double loop, and then it's coming back up here. You can see all the cirrus out here on the right side of the screen. See how you can actually see through it from the top also, and then it gets thicker and thicker. It's because rain's coming. This is in this area here when the cirrus is there. The conditions are right where the aircraft fly to where anything coming out of the exhaust is going to condense because it's got moisture in it. So you think it's chemtrailing, but then this comes, and so you associate rightly. Oh, okay, they're chemtrailing, and then rain comes because then the front comes through. But in reality, in many cases, not all, in many cases, what's happening is you're getting the conditions right for contrails in front, and then the rain comes. It has nothing. One is not associated with the other, cause and effect. Here's that area in Mexico we were looking at down here. It's pretty clear. Maybe I should move there. Actually, I think what we're getting here, we're getting the split jet stream. Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. Anyway, that is that. Smear clouds, I like that. Looks like someone got a hair. Hello, wondering eyes. Yep, my toupee got cut. It's all messed up too. It was windy here today, and I was out with Charlie walking him, and it's just messed up. But I should have showed you a few days ago. Remember, I was going to show you my scar from the Navy, but it's too thick at the moment. Chemtrails are a big con. Vermont. There's a no commercial airplane, no fly zone, no air routes, military sprays. So you can't get a flight into Vermont, like on Southwest or Delta or something. Just curious. Oh God, that's where the plane flew over a house and sprayed us really stinky bluish water with toilet paper extended. It has happened on clear days. Planes making tic-tac-toe lines on the sky. Then it gets cloudy and rains. Yeah, I get it, but if they're making tic-tac-toe lines and they get really big and stay, yeah, that's chemtrails. But notice after the rain leaves, that's the thing to notice. After the day or two after it rains, notice if there's chemtrails going on. Danny. Yeah, they stopped trains, end of the world. Oh yeah, Sticks just left a that restriction is not on this channel yet. You can actually leave a link on this channel. The reason you can't leave a link on Mr. Thrive and Survive is the other side, the turds on the other side, were spamming with links. So I had to block them. Interesting, Andrew. I didn't know that. Good to know. Vintage, everything I see today on is disturbing. Everything. But don't forget, the Patriots are in complete control. Should we dumpster dive and see what's happening on X22 today? Let's dumpster dive. Dumpster diving for garbage. The FBI colluded with a Russian spy and used fake evidence to spy on Carter Page. Well, isn't that brand new news? We've only known that for 4 years. Thanks, X22 Report, for breaking that news. Oh, people are breaking free of the circle. What's the hell's the circle? End is near. The fake news cleanse. Oh, my God. I can't dumpster dive anymore. I'm sick. That's right. Better stuff in dumpsters than X22 Report. The end is near for them. Oh, wait a minute. We got 8 more days, remember, for Simon Parks. The white hats are going to become, we're going to get a lot of disclosure by the end of this month. A whole lot by Christmas. All of it by, what, February, March? Yeah. Well, they better start dumping. Cloudy for 3 weeks in Sydney without any trails. Well, in Sydney, they don't need to trail you because they got total control there. He's a dumpster dive as a kid to get cans for cash. Mom didn't like me much. Sounds like me. You do anything for $1 back then, huh? Yeah, vintage. I'm excited too. Just in I think it was July or August. One of his reports says we are on the precipice, and I think it said really, really, really little, teeny weeny little bit of 1/2 of one font size. Don't hold your breath. Missed the White House going dark. Yeah, did we? Yeah, we missed it. And to me, that means nothing anyway. I have to talk about that. That's why I don't even bother with it anymore. White House live. Just to see if there's anything different. I can give you Times Square, New York live. Let me try again. Why does it show up some nights and other nights it doesn't? Oh, well. You know what? It's not that important to look at it because it can go dark or not go dark for the next 40 years. It ain't going to make any difference. But when it went red, it was red October. But remember, it wasn't really October because the Patriots are really using the Julian calendar instead of the Gregorian calendar. So we're still in October. Let's see if we're still in October. Julian calendar, October 2021. Hard to believe 2022 is almost here. Remember, Trump said that it's got to be fixed in 2021. Well, you've got, let's see, this is 11/22. You got 31 plus 8. You got 40 days left in the year to fix it. Good luck. Calendar for 2021, Julian calendar. Okay, October. Calendars. Hold on. Oh, we're on the Julian calendar. Sorry, I have to look for the Gregorian calendar. So it would be October 2021. Calendar. Well, neither one of them gives a comparison to where we are on the other calendar. So what good is it? They just give you October 1st to October 31st. Oh, God. It's like there's no reference. There's no reference point. Danny, that's good, but I can't talk about that here. Sounds like a conspiracy theory. Yes, it does, doesn't it? White House reporting live on our brain dead presidents. Diaper delivery rise for poopy pants Biden. Yeah, I heard that, Bonnie. Friendsgiving. The media is pushing that one right now. Danny, where's Soma? Remember we read, remember that you can't get Soma anymore. The one muscle relaxer that actually worked. It actually worked. If you have like what I have, like with these, the traps get all tight and you just stay tight and engaged, Soma would fix that. None of this other crap. It's like, where do you come up with this stuff? It's like, what are these placebos that are like $50 a pill? There you go, end of the world. Start a sundial. And if you do, it'll be good 500 million years from now. You even have moon dials. Hey, I didn't know about that. Uncle Joshua Lewis, thank you. The Gong Show. What was that guy's name? He actually wrote a song, Palisades Park, and he was the MC on the Gong Show. I tried a lot of game patches. In this area behind me, up there, there's a whole box of them. Chuck Berry, thank you, Vintage. I've tried patches. I've tried creams. I've tried kratom. I've tried wild lettuce. I've tried the spicy stuff, even the spicy stuff that is enhanced for absorption, and pills, powders, and potions everywhere. I mean, everywhere. I've tried acupuncture. I tried to get chiropractic. The VA actually provides it, but try to get them to call you to schedule. It just doesn't happen. 2 trips to physical therapy. What else? Laser therapy, dry needling, and probably 2 or 3, 4, 5, half a dozen other things I can't even remember that I've done. Yeah, that's right. Chuck Barris. That's right. Chuck Barris. Did you know he was a CIA agent? Fentanyl. We'll fix it. Fentanyl. As I said, I had fentanyl one time. My second heart attack, they gave me fentanyl to put me out. I was awake, but I don't remember being awake. Google doesn't say Vermont is a no-fly zone. Well, let's see. Let's see if I can go to Burlington on Southwest. Would that be the best city you would think to fly to? Burlington, maybe, or what? It's making me log in. It never makes me log in. Oh, want to get away this holiday? $59. Yeah, I can spend $59. I can fly. I can tell you where that is right now. That's Phoenix to Las Vegas. And when you get to Las Vegas, you'll have a mask on until you get off the plane in Arizona. So let's see. Book a flight. Phoenix to select airport. Of course, you fly to Burlington. I'm talking about air routes. Well, if you fly to Burlington, the air route would be over Vermont at some point. I'm scrolling down just to see if I see Vermont anywhere. So far, no. But this is Southwest. They are mostly, well, they don't go everywhere. Orf. I know where that is. Orf. Orf. That's Norfolk. ORF. You know, I used to know a lot of these by heart. Some of them have changed because you plot them in the Navy. You actually plot the airports. Nope, nowhere in Vermont can you fly to on Southwest. Nope. Hey, I remember that sticks. In the 1980s, Vermont had the most libertarian gun laws in the U.S. Yeah, Vermont, New Hampshire, they were all decent places. I don't know what happened to them. You love ORF, huh? Norfolk. But they changed the name of these airports so many. I mean, Baltimore used to be Friendship Airport. Was it FRI or FRD? FRI. Then it changed to Baltimore Washington International. But at first it was BAL. Then they changed it to BWI. Why? I don't know. Bernie Sanders happened to Vermont. Good point. Maybe somebody can answer this question for me, because I was thinking about this because the Kyle Rittenhouse thing and all that stuff, and the one guy that was testifying. That was I don't know if you saw this part of the trial, but it was very good. The defense attorney had the one guy, who said he got his bicep blasted by Rittenhouse. He actually pointed a gun at Rittenhouse and then he shot him in the bicep. Anyway, he had an expired or a non-valid concealed carry weapon permit, which you need in Wisconsin. You need to have the permit to be able to conceal a weapon in Wisconsin. You can open carry like how Rittenhouse did, but you can't conceal carry without the permit. He didn't have a valid permit. So the prosecutor asked, I thought it was brilliant, because then the jury could hear this. He said, have you been charged for illegally having a firearm because you didn't have the permit? He said, no. Nobody else was charged with squat. But here's the question. The question is, I would think it'd be the opposite way. Why is it okay to open carry? Because you can open carry here in Arizona. And I think you can conceal without the permit, but there's some difference. I don't know what it is. And let's just say you need a permit to conceal. One of my sons always, when we go out, he's always got he's always concealed his weapon. He's got a strap. You can't even tell he's got it around his waist, and the gun's in there. It's actually on the side, whatever. But you can't, unless you're really looking for it, you can't tell. But I see people walking around with their firearms. I saw one yesterday at the park, walking Charlie. And I started thinking, I was like, why can you open carry, but you can't conceal carry? I don't get it. Does the open carry have a less chance of killing you? Where did they come up with this crap? You can open and conceal an AZ, no permit required. Thank you, summary for that's what I thought. But there's something with, if you have the permit, something's different. I thought, anyway. I mean, whatever. I just don't understand why open is okay everywhere, or where you can. I'm sure it's not okay in D.C., and it's not okay in Oregon, and it's not okay in Illinois, and it's not okay in Massachusetts to open carry. But in these other states where you can, I don't understand why you need permits. Like in Wisconsin, you need a permit to conceal. I just don't get it. I would think you'd want people to conceal because, for a couple reasons. One, you'll have less confrontations because you don't know if the person's actually carrying or not. So you'd have to assume that they are. I don't know. I don't know. You can conceal and carry no permit in Vermont. How often do you see people with guns in Vermont? Give a count. CCW is recognized in certain states. Yeah. Oh. Well, see, I just don't get it. The conceal is to protect LE, but it still makes no sense. What is LE? Suppose the conceal law is to protect LE. You've never seen it unless they're hunting. Wow. You don't see it really that. I mean, if you look, you can tell a lot of people are concealed carrying here. And some open. You go to Texas, you see a lot of people just open carrying. Oh, law enforcement, thank you. To protect law enforcement, I would think they'd want to see that they have a gun too. There's things that just don't make sense to me. How does it protect law enforcement for it to be concealed? Anyway, I just don't get that one. Malcolm X's daughter was found dead in her apartment. News that just popped on my phone. Malcolm X's daughter was found dead in her apartment. Well, she probably died of, you know what? True. That's right, Vintage. Nothing makes sense nowadays. How about the media? The guy that was driving through and killed 5 people so far. There's 2 children in critical condition, wounded or killed over 50 people, close to 50 people. And the media was like, oh, he accidentally. Where did he come up with this crap? He accidentally was fleeing a crime scene and went the wrong way. Of course, we found out later that was as much bullcrap as the phlegm from the sun coming to the earth 3 days later. Yeah, he just plowed through it. It was on camera everywhere. There was nothing accidental about that. Come on, man. Yes, but that's another thing. More than anything else, it's the media, I think, chasing me, wanting me to run out of the country. And it's mostly because people believe it. And you know everybody that believes it because you can look around and see now, can't you? You can see the ones that really believe it. Casmige, they, the ruling leader, are trying to provoke more gun violence by allowing open carry, concealed carry without a CCW to try and stoke violence, and then we'll come to New Zealand type no, they would love to have New Zealand type confiscatory. Oh, that's a good word. Gun laws. Anna says the stupid law, my husband can explain it better, but he is asleep. Let him sleep. He might be concealed. You wake him up and he thinks you're a burglar. Thanks for that, Anna. The black white tee rapper BLM idiot. Oh, I heard the police chief in Waukesha. Is that where it was? What's all this kosher stuff in Wisconsin? Anyway, I heard the police chief actually marched in a BLM parade and had all his people take a knee to it. Posting on Twitter about how to hit people and get away with it. I'm sure the media is just working on twisting it to he was oppressed and he was a victim of white privilege and he just had to strike out. Casmige tried to send you an email. At what email address? What.com? Like mail.com? Where are you trying to send it? Casmige. You can see the video on pitch through the car was going slow and deliberately was turning into people. You can see that too. I was watching a feed last night, had several different views of it, playing in a loop over and over and over again. Your YouTube, Facebook, and website email. Oh, okay. I don't use Facebook anymore, period. YouTube. I'll let you know, Vintage. I'll do streams from there, so you'll know. Use this one, Casmige, and put your name, Casmige, in the subject at the beginning, because I get tons and tons and tons of spam here, and I don't look at anything else unless I'm looking for something. So use this Gmail address. So what I'm going to do is, when I do the new bodybuilding site program, whatever it's going to be, I'm going to I'll have an email address there that I will just let you guys know about. That the people for that era, they won't know it, but I will set up one so you guys can use it. And I've got, let me see, maybe we'll get feedback from you guys. Where did I put this? I don't want to actually say them because somebody will take them and then I'll have to pay to get the freaking, you know how that works. If I mention I found about 8 or 10 different names for domain names that I can use. And once you mention it, someone will grab it for $7, $8, and then try to sell it to you because they know you want it for $100. That's right. That's my burner email account. But I'll give you guys a good one once I start that up. A known threat is easier target, easier than an unknown threat. But I would think if they see you have a gun, then you're not a target at all. But I don't know. You can email it all day, Vintage, but if for me to see it would be a miracle. I guarantee you, in the time to stream, we're now 2 hours, 11 minutes into it. And as you can tell, I'm not focused on any one thing tonight at all. Just kind of drifting. But I'll bet you there's 25, 30 spam has come in during this time. So if I see it, I see it, but I don't even go there. And you know what's really weird is I'll get a Gmail notification from some random thing that comes up. And then the rest of them, I get nothing. Thank God I get nothing on the rest because it beep, beep, beep all day. Yep, Vintage. You got it like tumbleweed. There was a scripture, Vintage, I was going to... get your feedback on, but we're kind of late into this, and it might send us into what's the word I want to use? Controversial territory. Not YouTube controversial, but who else wants to just run away? I know I do. And it's not just, it's everything. It's not just the tyranny. It's the taxes. It's the living conditions. It's being around people that are just so brainwashed. And I don't see hope for them. And I don't know if it would be any better outside the country. I just don't. But I think I need to find out. Because I think they're going to soon say, unless you are vaccinated, you can't leave the country or you can't travel to other countries, whatever. You're going to need it. So I think that's coming. So I don't want to be caught behind the 8 ball. Like my brother said, I don't want to wait till after Hitler shuts everything down when I try to get away. Although I don't take all of that stuff as with the Hitler. I mean, I'll use Hitler comparisons and stuff like that in the propaganda or whatever. It doesn't mean I 100% fully buy into the whole Hitler story that we've been told in history. Not by a long shot. Yes, Vintage. Isn't it getting harder to deal with stupid? I can hardly stand it anymore. Yeah, it's like... And it's hard not to be biased. But if someone is like disagreeing with you with something and they obviously are brainwashed, read between the lines, because you can't read their lips, it's hard not to be biased already. Because all I want to say is, why don't you turn that left-wing crap media off and do your own research on stuff? It could be things are progressing quickly and everyone is still acting like everything is fine. Yeah, it's like the American people will put up with anything. They'll put up with anything. And they won't even protect their kids. I don't see the big uproar. Nobody's protecting their kids. Read between the lines. Mine says I want to get some high ground before the fighting part, and now I wouldn't have a chance. Yeah, it's like I want to go to some place where it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Yep, just like they're ignoring the 2020 election, being untoward. But we can fix it vintage. All we have to do is go out and vote next year. Get a bunch of America Firsters in there. We will vote them out next time. Oh my gosh, just shoot me. Yes. And I believe that line for 40 years of voting. This one woke me up, though. This one woke me up. Because there was always the strong suspicion of untowardness, and you know what was going on, but not to the extent. When it got to the point where more people were voting in a state than voters, and still nothing's done about it, and still the attorney generals don't want to do anything about it, it's like, you're gone. You've lost your republic. You've lost it. Dodger Ventile says Mexico is so corrupt that the government doesn't have time to enforce BS laws and mandates. Yes, they got other things to worry about, don't they? Yeah. See, here's the difference. Kazmich, the Mexican government and the Ecuadorian government, they all know they're corrupt. They openly are corrupt. Openly are corrupt. Give me some coin, and you can get what you want done. That's Ecuador. And I'm sure it's the same in Mexico. And in these other places where they say you can't get things done, have the coin, you can get it done. It's like anything. Like if I really wanted to get fentanyl, or any other drug, all I have to do is show up with the right money and talk to the right people, and I'll get it. That's just the way it is. It's the way it works. It's the way the world works. Here, people think it's legit. They think it's legit. And not only that, they give an authoritative overview to everything. Oh, they know. They're in the government. They're a doctor. They're a senator. They're a governor. These people are the authorities, and we need to listen to them. They know better. That's the thing here. And supposedly, we have people that would rise up if it was ever stolen. Well, it's been stolen. Nobody's rising up. Nobody. And if they are, I don't hear them. Oh, it could be a lot of people says a lot of people woke up, but not enough. Too little, too late. And you're not going to wait. If you're not awake by now to what's going on, what the hell do you need? You're too dumb to wake up. It's like me and my brother were just talking. People are, the movie The Matrix, where they're all plugged in. People are plugged into their own matrix. They buy into it. They don't want to leave it. They don't want to see that it's not right. They want to stay plugged in. They want to live in their fantasy land where government will help me. They'll take control. They will take care of everything. The authorities. And they really believe they have rights. Americans are too complacent. Fluoridation. I agree 100%, Mark Harris. Education system taken over by the CIA in the 50s and 60s. Propaganda out the freaking arse. Everywhere you turn. Corrupt government. And they slowly dripped it out. So we became the boiling frog. Well, we're freaking toasty. We're too toasty to do anything. We're too comfortable in our warm waters. All right, Danny, what I'm going to do is BREURE. UER. A comedian? Wait a minute. Why can't YouTube, it's the same company that does Google. Google can find anything. In fact, if you can't find it on YouTube, search on Google. Chances are the video will pop up that you're looking for there. BREURE. BREURE. Smoke and brew. Just get. Now you're spelling it differently. BREUER. Well, in case you didn't know, YouTube allows duplicate channel names. And I see 1, 2, 3. 3 right off the top. 4. Oh, there's James also. 4. We spoiled all our children, and now they don't know how to fight to survive. Not only that, but they believe media over you. See, because at some point in the circus of distraction, at some point, the education system convinced the children in mass that the parents don't know, the state knows. I mean, this is. I can't find it. Hold on. I'll try one more time. He talks a lot about stuff I don't want to talk about. I'm not going to risk it. I'm sorry. Not tonight. Nevermind says, so much easier to swallow your daily dose of blue pills than to face reality. Yep, and everything is, everything is taken care of for this generation. I mean, And of course, I'm not talking about everybody, but nobody seems to want to do any real work. I know 1, 2, 3, 4 people of my children's, 5 people, 4, no, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of my children's generation. 2 out of 6 actually have actual jobs. One is sort of works about an hour a day, but gets paid for all day. It's like the generation that doesn't have to do anything and still survives. Oh, there it is. Pirate Pete has the link. Thank you, Pirate Pete. And I can't click on the link directly. Let's get rid of X22 bullcrap reports. Get rid of that.
Here I got show.
Okay, I'll share the video. If they talk about something that they shouldn't be talking about, I might have to take extreme measures. So I'll have to mute myself again. Alrighty, here.
Here I got shows in Omaha, Nebraska tomorrow night. And are you enjoying the great distraction circus, are you? Wow, what a show. Let's talk about this Rittenhouse kid today. Well, clearly he's an American hero. Hero? What are you, some kind of animal? He murdered people. Yeah, no, it was in self-defense. Self-defense, he should have never been there anyway. What's a 16-year-old doing with a gun? Well, he was trying to defend some real people. Did you see the people he actually killed? They were monsters. I never knew it. If anything, I think we should take guns away. If anything, I think he's the right reason why we need more guns. Sire, our plan is working geniusly as it has for centuries. They just keep dividing and we keep conquering as they're more distracted. We need to. Oh, Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is a liar. How dare he lie? Why can't he be a teammate? Just get vaccinated. I think it's actually a choice. You should have a choice if you want to or do a double.
Sorry about that. I stopped it because we're not going to talk about that subject at all. Period. Period. We're not going to talk about it. It's not going to come up on anything. I'm a little pissed that it's in there because I already said we're not going to bring up that subject. So there you have it. So you want to see the video, the link is there. Thanks, Parrot Pete. Rumble account. See, I don't like Rumble, though. All right, guys, I think I'm going to end it here. So was that really loud? Because it was not loud at all to me. Really? See, I have, to me, it wasn't even loud. It's funny. Some things you guys are like, it's not loud enough. And to me, it's fine. And then I don't know what that is. I don't, it must be StreamYard. I don't know. I don't know where they pick up the audio from. The 30-minute timer starts now to end it. Now we're ending it because I am way too tired. I'm just out of it. Not loud for you, sissy. Okay, cool. All right, so the next stream should be Wednesday. Now, should we do Wednesday? Are you all traveling for Thanksgiving and stuff like that? So just to get a little bit of feedback on that. Don't know about Friday either. I mean, do you all? I'm doing nothing, so whatever. Good night, Mark Harris. Should do D Live too, huh? I've never even been on D Live. I'll have to check it out. Thanks for that, Andrew. Good night, Bonnie. Thanks for being here. God bless you too. You're traveling. All right. As far as I know, I have nothing Wednesday evening. So plan on a stream. I'm not 100% sure it'll happen, but I'm pretty sure it will. There's one thing that I may have to do Wednesday. Wednesday's good for you too, huh, Vintage? All right, I'm going to try to make it. In fact, did I start? No, I started. Did I start the stream at 7 or 7:30? Did I start the stream at the normal time for you guys, or was it a half hour earlier? I'm going to try to do a half hour. It was the normal time today. I'm going to try to do a half hour earlier. Wednesday's perfect. Okay, we'll come back Wednesday, and maybe we'll have something. In fact, I know I want to get into the scripture. It will be controversial Wednesday a little bit. Thank you, Michael B. Thanks. Yes, please thumbs up. So it'll be this channel because you can't do it on the other channel until the 28th or something like that. Just figure the end of the month, beginning of December, then we can do that. It was an hour. That's because you all switched clocks, but it was still half after the hour. That's what I meant, which means I can still go a half hour earlier. Tell you the scripture, huh? No, I can't give you an advance notice on scripture. Now, hold on just a second. I'll give it to you. I got several scriptures open. I got to find it. I think it's in Luke. Yes, Luke 11:31. So there you have that. So, yeah, I was just joking, Vintage. I don't mind giving it to you. It's only in my Bible. There was a movie I saw once, and I will end it after this. I would love to find it again. Me and my best friend, we were in the Navy or probably just after the Navy. We rented this video. It had to be after the Navy because they didn't have video rentals before. And we shared an apartment. And there was a scene where there was a guy in jail, and this preacher or somebody came who had control of, like, would people get executed or not. He had him in, maybe it was a mock jail, whatever, but he was locked up. And he opens his Bible up, and it says, "He who kills must be killed," or something like that. He says, "See, it says so in the Bible." And the guy behind the prison, he goes, "It doesn't say that in the Bible." he says so in my Bible, and he shows him, and he hand wrote it in, like in magic marker over all the other words. Anyway, it was funny as hell, and I wish neither one of us can remember the name of it, but we were almost literally rolling on the floor when we saw it. After they reinstated the YMCA. That's right. I get it, Sticks. Blockbuster days. Yep. Yes. Talk about a business model going bad. They should have realized I got into streaming. They could have been better than Netflix. Anyway, God bless, guys. I'll try to do Wednesday. 95% chance, 95%. It seems there's something Wednesday. I just got to try to figure out what it is. But I think I'm going to do it a half hour earlier than tonight, whatever your time zone is. So God bless. Thank you, Sissy May. Good night, Andrew, and everybody else. Never mind, Sticks. Vintage. Yeah, God bless each and every one of you. Stay safe. And pray for our country. We need it. Whatever country you're in. We're all sinking fast. Take care, guys. See you Wednesday. Bye-bye.